Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with the final game of Group A of the 2004 Ever OSL. This is a rematch between Julyzerg and Rock, and this is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to this. If somehow you missed it, yeah, so Julyzerg picked in the group selection ceremony. Julyzerg picked Rock to be in his group, thinking that he was an easy kill probably. And Rock had a really brilliant cheese against him. Planned it out for that specific map, executed it well. Could have executed it better, but still executed it well enough, and the cheese just kind of kept Julyzerg contained. And Julyzerg has a couple of good counterattacks that almost worked, but wasn't able to pull it off, and Rock ended up winning. So, and then, well, here's the thing. Rock picked Xellos to be in the group. And guess who Rock ended up going up against in the winners match? Xellos. So Xellos then defeated Rock. So both the players who picked other players, because Max was last, so he didn't get to pick anyone, lost to the people that they picked, which is interesting. But now we have the final match. Julyzerg beat Max in the losers match, and Rock obviously lost to Xellos in the winners match. So here we are. This is the final match to determine who's going to be the second seed player in this group to exit the group and go on to the round of 8. And then that's when things really get serious, because then you're actually having like full best of 3s that you're preparing for against other players. So we got 2 gateways going up for Rock, by the way, so he is not messing around with any kind of expansion build or anything like that. Of course, fast expansions in PvZ became super common and almost standard not until like a few years after this. So not like super surprising to see a 2-gate build coming out right now. It doesn't necessarily mean he's doing a cheesy build, but it does mean that he's not necessarily confident in the long game still against Julyzerg, which makes a lot of sense. So anyway, this is Julyzerg's chance to get a rematch in, to get some revenge for excuse me, to get some revenge for losing to Rock to that cheese in the first game of the series, and to advance, and to continue to advance to try and defend his title in the OSL. And so we're going to see if he can do that right now. He's gone for a quick spawning pool and early gas. So Julyzerg also not messing around, not wanting to get caught with his lings down, not wanting to get cheesed, because this map also has a small choke point in the natural expansion. So we could have seen almost a similar build with, you know, a cannon rush that blocked Julyzerg in his base and went for the long-term kill like we saw in the first game. So Julyzerg not wanting to deal with any of that, is going for speedlings first, then getting his expansion up. So now, you know, normally Zerg would love to expand first, and you know, the Rock is a similar situation. He's, you know, again, doesn't want to get trapped in his base, doesn't want to lose to an early attack or anything like that, any kind of early cheese build himself. So he's going to actually, he's gotten those zealots out, and he's blocking off his wall. And he had that probe in there, so he knew that Julyzerg had early lings. So he's actually just going to kind of wall off here and play a little bit of defensive until he can get more zealots up. Anyway, but Julyzerg would have loved to have expanded earlier. Oh, he's going the long way around! Remember, I talked about this map in my preview video. There's a land route that goes all the way along the back of the map, on the sides of the map, and there it goes down from a ramp into a back expansion into the main. And you can see the Rock actually has 2 zealots on that ramp for exactly that reason. Julyzerg has gone all the way around to try and break through here. Can he break through those 2 zealots? It's going to probably be too costly. He might be able to get through there, but he would lose almost all of the Zerglings, and they would just have like 1 or 2 left to harass. And he's actually going to have to fall back. The Rock is now pushing out with a handful of zealots, and Julyzerg, without those 6 Zerglings at his main, is in kind of a lot of trouble, and he's actually going to have to run them all the way back, that long route, all the way up along the top, the side of the map, and then all the way back down, and all the way across to get back to his main to use them for defense if he wants to. Instead, he's just counting on making additional Zerglings. And Julyzerg actually has a ton of Zerglings now. And actually, if he can get a surround on those Zealots, the Zealots are not clumped up. They're not able to fight as a squad with their backs to each other. And the Zerglings get a huge surround and they are able to annihilate those zealots. Wow. Yeah, the reinforcement zealots are like, nope, 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 nope. Let's get back home. Let's get back to a nice choke point where we can be safe. And Julyzerg's economy has got to be really hurting though at this point. Like, he looks like he's in charge of this game for sure, but he's just got very little economy because he went for the pool first and the gas first before his expansion. So his production has been a little bit lower. And like, look at that. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drones on minerals. And I don't know if he has any yet as a natural. We haven't seen his natural lately. So, and he's actually running a ton of Zerglings around the back again. He's like, all right, you got two zealots on that ramp. Well, it can deal with 6-lings. Can it deal with 12? And it can't is the answer to that question. Especially if they're speedlings. Especially if he's got a gap. He put them in the wrong spot. The Zerglings get a surround on the zealots. They're going to be able to annihilate those zealots. The Rock is leaving 3 at his front door, knowing that that's exactly what Julyzerg wants, is for him to open up his main, but instead he runs by the reinforcement zealots and uses his backdoor zealots to surround the front door backdoor lings to surround the front door zealots, and now there is no door. The door has been kicked open, and Julyzerg can run rampant inside of his base. These speedlings are too fast for the zealots. Obviously, the zealots are more powerful if they can get clumped up and they can get into a head-to-head battle with those Zerglings, but he's actually just going to run out? He's going to leave? What? I'm a little surprised by this, that he didn't decide to keep running around inside the base there and try and do more harassment, do more damage. I guess he wanted to really save those Zerglings, but I mean, he did some damage. He killed 5 zealots, 6 zealots, and didn't lose too many Zerglings in the process. So, and actually hold that thought, because it looks like he might go in here after all, trying to attack these zealots in the front door, and it looks like he might kill the zealots, but no, that zealot's going to run back and to the mineral line. Templar Archives is up there, so again, he's at least getting some good scouting in here, and the Spire is up though. Colony going down in the main. I'm not sure exactly what that colony is for. Maybe to get I don't know why there's a colony going down in Julyzerg's main base, unless that wasn't a colony. He might be a little bit scared. Oh, I guess it's because he knows the zealots are probably going to run by. And here come the zealots into the natural expansion. And he's trying to build a sunken colony in each base, I guess, so that way the zealots can't just run by one into the other. I suppose that makes sense. But in the meantime, Mutalisk getting some free shots on those zealots, but now they're like, okay, well, the real score is not these zealots. The real deal is in the main. If I can get in here before these cannons finish morphing, and he does get in there. The cannons are not done yet. He's running into the main, and he might actually kill off that sunken colony. They're both attacking the static defenses in each other's bases. It looked like the cannon's not going to fire a single shot. The Mutalisks are now rampaging in the main. The reinforcement Mutalisks help polish off the zealot. There's Dragoons in play, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's got too many Mutalisks out already, and he's targeting down the Dragoons. He's trying to micro back and just take as many shots as possible. He's trying to build more cannons. There is the Templar Archives in play, and so he's trying to build some Dark Templar. And actually, the Zealots do, the extra Zealots that run in there do manage to kill off that sunken colony. And it's now both players trading each other's main supply lines, essentially. Julyzerg forcing all of the probes off of the main minerals, and at the same time, those Zealots forcing the drones off. Julyzerg's reinforcements are more powerful, though. They're stronger. The Zerglings are able to clean up those Zealots, whereas the couple Dragoons popping up piecemeal are not able to deal with the Mutalisks. The Archon, however, is going to be enough to deal with those Mutalisks. Especially if you can get some cannons around or a couple Dragoons. Hold that thought, though. Is he going to be able to target it down? The Archon can do good splash damage, so just one Archon can be really solid against a group of Mutalisks. Is he going to be able to micro against that, though? And is he? Oh, no. He's going to come in with Zerglings as well. There's just nothing stopping him from running in the front door. Is he trying to target down the Archon? The Archon goes down, but the cannon is about to warp in. That's going to force those Mutas back as well. So Julyzerg is just continuing to be forced back from finishing off with the killing blow here. But and in the meantime, he's just lost so much economy. Look at this. He's only mining at his minerals at his natural. And he's only got, looked like 8 or 9 drones, maybe 10 drones at his natural expansion mining. So this is actually kind of bad. If Rock can stabilize and can maybe get out another Archon or maybe some High Templar or something like that. If he can somehow deal with these Mutalisks, he's going to be in pretty good shape, I think. And there's the High Templar out. Has enough energy for Storm. Can he get his Storm off? He's trying to power down that gas because the gas units... Oh, he's not even going to try and get his Storm. He may not have even had the money to research Storm, actually. And he finishes off the Assimilator. The Assimilator goes down, and that is actually huge because Rock does not have a second base to mine gas from. No more High Templar, no more Dark Templar, no more Dragoons. He's not going to get any more gas for a while. He's trying to rebuild his Assimilator, but Julyzerg could probably snipe it as well. And this is cool. He's actually splitting his mutas and sending them around the map, pausing in his Mutalisk harassment for a moment to just check to see, all right, does the Rock have any hidden tech somewhere? Does he have any hidden expansions? Because that's the only way he can, you know, that's one way that he can lose, I should say, is by missing some extra stuff somewhere on the map. And look, he's even sending him back to his own back door to spot, and he spots the probe! He spots the probe, and he's actually going to pick it off. That was actually a gambit that could have won the game for Rock, as if he was able to get some hidden cannons above that supply line with that probe. That would have been really, really brutal. So here we have Rock now pushing across the map with an Archon and a bunch of Zealots, but it's probably not enough. There's so many Mutalisks. All he has to do is keep from getting his Mutalisk clumped up. He's running away with the Archon to distract the Mutalisk while the Zealots run into the natural. Is it going to be enough, though? Can he do enough damage? Julyzerg's economy is very much hurting right now. Can he do enough damage to it to do a killing blow to Julyzerg's economy before these Mutalisks can finish off the Zealots? And it looks like the answer is going to be probably not, because there are so many Mutalisks. Man, Julyzerg is insane. Somehow Julyzerg can just make so many mutas off of just no economy. It's absolutely amazing. You know, we've seen this in the MSL games that I've casted of him before as well, that he's just like, you know, and this is why, you know, Julyzerg is known for one of the fathers of macro, the macro Zerg plays. Like, you know, Julyzerg kind of invented it, and we're seeing it right here. Somehow managing to scrape up a dozen Mutalisks or more off of just barely mining one gas for a while, and having very little minerals in the bank as well, and just by sheer force of will, hacking 12 mutas into existence, and not actually hacking, but you know what I mean. It's just like somehow able to gut a bunch of mutas. And here he is, he's going in for the killing blow. There's 4 cannons there, it's a lot, but there's no backup. Usually the cannons are a distraction and they're covering fire, so you can get your High Templar over there to go do some Storm. But I don't think he has any High Templar. He hasn't had gas for so long. He hasn't been able to get High Templar and Storm out. And Julyzerg losing 1 Mutalisk, but he's polished off 2 cannons. He's going to get the 3rd. And now he's just going to go ahead and polish off that last one just to make it especially easy. The Archon is in play, but the mineral line is completely exposed. The Archon cannot protect that location very easily. A single Zealot's going to run in here as a last-ditch suicide mission to try and do some distraction, try and do some damage. But it's going to get picked off by the reinforcement Mutalisks that haven't run out to the field yet. And so Julyzerg is just having some fun here, microing his Mutalisks back and forth in order to damage the supply line. And yeah, his probes are running back and forth, but while they're doing that, they're not mining at all. So this is not looking good for Rock at all. Rock has managed to get a cannon lineup at his natural expansion, so you can use that to build another Nexus and keep mining, but he's got no money to build another Nexus, so he can't even use that really. And now he's got 2 Archons out, so he can have one on the low ground and one on the high ground and try and trap these mutas that have been doing so much micro back and forth. But here comes the second round of mutas coming in, and they're going to get a nice spread, so the splash damage does minimal amount of damage to him. Finish off 1 Archon, while the other Archon limps down the ramp to try and join the fight again. He's just forcing those probes off, and now the Rock is the one whose economy is in shambles and in tatters, and Julyzerg is the one with a strong economy. He's even got a Zergling behind that mineral line just to make sure there's no more cannon shenanigans or anything like that. And the Rock just doesn't have the money to build another Nexus to keep mining at that extra base, so I think Julyzerg has this in hand. So Julyzerg looks like he is going to get revenge, and it's just finishing off yet more probes. I mean, when you're dead, but like you're out of money, you have to try and mine, right? So he's sending in this 1 Archon, and he's actually microing against the Archon over that ridge pretty well as well. It's getting free shots off. So yeah, Julyzerg is going to take his revenge, and there's the GG. Julyzerg taking his revenge for the first game. where the Rock cheesed him and contained him, and Julyzerg said, you know what, I'm going to go for a quick Speedlings and a quick lair to make sure that you can't do it again, and I'm going to exercise my ridiculous macro and my scrappy 2-base play and mass Mutalisks against the Protoss, who has some of the best units to deal with Mutalisks, and maybe the best units to deal with Mutalisks, actually, with with Archons and High Templar and Corsairs, of course. But he was just too aggressive, and there was nothing the Rock could do about it. The Rock was never able to progress. He had some good attacks with Zealots to do significant damage to Julyzerg, but Julyzerg just somehow was able to, even though he lost drones, stay in the game and continue attacking and continue his own aggression and his counterattacking and push through to the victory. So, emerging from this group are going to be Xellos as the first seed and Julyzerg as the second seed, meaning Julyzerg is going to end up going up against the top player from another group in the quarterfinals. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out as well. So congrats to Xellos and to Julyzerg. I think definitely the two stronger players in this group. Not a huge surprise that they ended up getting out of this group, but they had to fight for it, that's for sure. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next group that I'm going to be doing is Group B, and Group B is going to be crazy as well. Group B is going to be two of the Protoss players. There's only 3 Protoss in this whole Star League, and 2 of them are in the same group. We could end up with very few Protoss in the round of 8. Reach picked Good Friend, so he actually picked a PvP there. Good Friend picked Yellow, and Yellow picked Midas. And so we're going to have 2 Protoss, 1 Zerg, and 1 Terran player in Group B, and that's going to be the next group I'm going to be casting. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks very much for watching. Look out for Group B starting up pretty soon as well. GG.